Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. With the 2025 election heating up and tariffs still dominating the headlines, it's easy to lose sight of what Canada's major parties actually stand for outside of a crisis. Especially with a short election window, people are voting on who will handle the mess with Trump better. But what about the bigger picture, outside of the current economic pressure? In this video and in this series, I'm breaking down the core beliefs, history, and track record of each party in general terms, so you know what you're signing up for, generally, when you vote. Again, as a disclaimer, these breakdowns do not include recent or current party leaders who have strayed from the typical values of their party. In short, every party and every party leader has a certain degree of volatility. But again, I'm speaking in general terms here, and I'm looking at the larger patterns and trends happening. So in this video, we're going to take a look at the NDP. To summarize the NDP, they are a left-leaning force rooted in social democracy, championing workers' rights and equality. They advocate for strong government intervention, wealth redistribution, and social justice. They've been shaped by grassroots reformers like Tommy Douglas, and now are led and defined by more current leaders like Jagmeet Singh. Looking at their history, the NDP was founded in 1961 by a merger of two groups. The Cooperative Commonwealth Federation, otherwise known as the CCF, formed an alliance with the Canadian Labour Congress. And the NDP's first leader was Tommy Douglas, often called the father of Medicare for his pioneering work. Now, the CCF had started much earlier than the NDP. They started in 1932 during the Great Depression. Then in 1933, it released the Regina Manifesto in Saskatchewan. This was a bold plan to fight economic inequality by having government take over large industry like banks and railways. The NDP, when it formed, dialed back this socialist view of nationalizing large industry, but they kept a focus on building a strong welfare state with strong government intervention for everyday Canadians. Then the party grew under leaders like Ed Broadbent. He led the party from 1975 to 1989 and peaked with 43 seats in the 1988 election, a sign of steady support. Later, however, Jack Layton sparked the Orange Wave in the 2011 election, jumping up to 103 seats and forming the official opposition. Then since 2017, Jagmeet Singh has been the leader of the party. He's emphasized affordability and diversity while working with the Liberals in a coalition or confidence agreement. Some of the party's more notable achievements include universal Medicare, starting with Douglas' 1962 Saskatchewan program, where the government paid for everyone's healthcare. This model spread nationally by 1966 with the NDP's pressure on the Liberal Party. As well, the Canadian Health Act in 1984, ensuring that healthcare stays universal, came about as a result of the NDP's pressure and advocacy. The party also pushed for a $15 per hour federal minimum wage. And lastly, they secured a pharmacare framework in 2024 through their agreement with the Liberals. So looking at their core beliefs, they value social democracy. This is the belief that government should play a major role in reducing inequality through government programs like healthcare and childcare, funded by taxes on the wealthy. The party also believes in prioritizing workers' rights. They support unions, fair wages, and job protections. Equity and inclusion now drive the party as well, tackling racial, gender, and economic disparities with ideas like affordable housing and Indigenous reconciliation. On top of that, environmental justice has also become a key issue for the party. They push aggressive climate action like net zero emissions, though they try to balance that with resource jobs in Western Canada. And finally, they are very skeptical of corporate power. They favor regulation and public ownership over unchecked markets. Some of their recent moves show these beliefs in action. In 2024, for example, they locked in a national pharmacare plan through a deal with the Liberals, starting with contraception and diabetes drugs, a step to even broader coverage. As well, since 2021, they've campaigned for a 1% wealth tax on fortunes over $10 million. They've doubled down on this in the face of US tariffs straining Canada's economy. More recently, in 2025, they proposed a Made in Canada plan. This offered retraining for workers who had been negatively impacted by the US tariffs, as well as retaliatory tariffs to shield certain industries. And of course, they've pitched rent caps to limit housing costs and pledged to build 500,000 affordable homes. Now, of course, like the other parties, they face a good deal of criticism. Conservatives especially argue that their spending plans are fiscally reckless. For example, they estimate that their universal pharmacare plan could cost up to $30 billion yearly, increasing the chance of deficits. And critics say they're too idealistic. Wealth taxes and rent caps might scare away landlords, the result opposing the desired outcome. As well, Jagmeet Singh's stance on pipelines, like the Trans Mountain Project, has flip-flopped. He opposed it in 2018, but softened by 2023 and ended up alienating environmentalists and workers. And perhaps most notoriously, they've been criticized for being the Liberal Party's lapdogs, for propping up Justin Trudeau's minority government while complaining about their governance the whole time. So essentially, voting for the NDP means supporting a party dedicated to fairness. They want to use government power to lift up workers, the marginalized, and the environment. They've definitely left a mark on Canada's social fabric, but critics say they overpromise and fail to resonate with Canadians. Well, to everyone watching who is very familiar with the party, either good or bad, I encourage you to leave your thoughts in the comments. I want this video and the comments to be a great resource for people trying to learn. I hope this video was helpful and informative for you. Thank you for watching. Have an outstanding day and take care.